Hey there guys, and welcome back to more Let's Play Legend of Legaia with me, your host, Rabbit. In our previous episode, oh my goodness, so much shit went down, but long story short, we ended up discovering the presence of a Rosaru within Rim Elm's Genesis tree. Its name is Maida, and combining its power with the prayers of the entire village, we managed to drive away the mist and the infected Seru from Rim Elm. So that was wonderful, and immediately after those events transpired, we managed to witness the very sad funeral for Juno, as well as two other members of the community that we sent away to sea to a place called the Valley of Noaru. So that is pretty much where we left off, and now we are speaking privately with the village elder, who wants us to go out and see if we can find May's mother, who he believes may still be alive. So we're going to say yes to his request so that we can hear the rest of this story and learn more about May and kind of her family history. Oh, thank you. Now, even May doesn't know this, but May's mother, Maya, used to work at a Biron Monastery. 10 years ago, the mist came, and naturally we lost all contact with her. As for whether Biron Monastery itself still survives in the mist, unfortunately no one knows, but Maya is May's only surviving blood relative. Vaughn, with the Rosaru, I'm sure you can make it to Biron Monastery. Vaughn, I'm counting on you. Which, yes, I always thought it was weird that her mom would work so far away, but I guess, you know, that's how it goes. Needs to make that money. One more thing, Vaughn. Keep this a secret from May. She will only be heartbroken if Biron Monastery has indeed been lost to the mist. No worries, I wasn't planning on telling her anything. Your secret is safe with me. So look at the tree, guys. It actually has bloomed and has leaves, and it's no longer gross looking, which is wonderful. The power of this Genesis tree will save us all from the mist, won't it? It has to. Well, don't get too excited, little lady. All right. Well, we're pretty much done with Rim Elm, but I do want us to come and talk to our father before we do anything. I still don't believe what happened yesterday. I never knew the Genesis tree had such powers. I know not what hidden powers that Seru on your right arm has. All this is too confusing for an old man like me, but I have faith in you. You've brought hope to Rim Elm in its darkest hours. As your father, I'm very proud of the brave man you have become. Whatever you decide to do from now on, this will always be your home, and you will always be my son. Never forget that. Oh, that is so sweet. Thanks to the Genesis tree, no one will have to die anymore, right? No one will be killed by the Seru anymore, right? I wish it was that easy, but no promises, little Nene. Alright, so what I want us to do, and we're not fully finished yet, but if you head out here as though you are exiting Rim Elm, we will spawn another little conversation with May. So she says, Vaughn. Wait, Vaughn. Phew. Oh, I'm glad I made it. Here, I brought you the hunting clothes I promised you. So we now have our hunter clothes. Yeah! And this is a gift for you, to thank you for rushing to check up on me yesterday. So we also have May's pendant. Hey Vaughn, what's the matter? Well, obviously we're not going to be assholes and tell her to mind her own business, so we will say, are you alright now? Yes, I had a good cry. And making your hunting clothes took my mind off everything. Vaughn, I heard from the village elder that you're going on a long trip. Well, take care, and don't forget to wear the hunting outfit I made you. And be sure to come back when you finish whatever it is you have to do. I mean it, you'd better come back. I've never been good at saying goodbyes, so I have to go home now. I'm sorry. I'll be waiting for you to come back, Vaughn. I kind of feel like she should just go, right? Like, go with him and then just journey and be by his side. But I guess she doesn't really have too much to bring to the table. So it is what it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and manually equip. You can use best equipment, but I always like to look at what I've got. So we can see the difference here in upper defense and lower defense. Rather nice. So we'll go ahead and throw those bad boys on, and we'll put on May's pendant, which increases our max health points by 10%. That's also rather nice, especially for starting out. I will gladly take that bad boy. Okay, but we're not done, even still. So we're going to exit the world, and this is something that a lot of people miss. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So immediately after you leave Room Elm, come back in here. It sounds silly and ridiculous, but you have to do this. Don't know why, but it is what it is. And you're going to want to run upstairs and check this drawer right here for a point card. So we now have the point card. Let's take a look at this together. We can't really use it, but it earns points worth 5% of the price when you shop. So this will kind of come in handy much later on. I'm sure you're thinking, okay, we've got like this little ass point card. Is it really going to make that big of a difference right now? Maybe not right now, but let's give it some time. Just remember that we have this. Remember that it's up here, and we'll kind of mess around with this later. But I really wanted to just show that to you guys. And that's it for what's up here. Of course, I always like to just kind of run around and rummage around, but that should be all. So, oh, Vaughn, I'm glad to see you. Now that the mist is gone, I've decided to open my shop again. My son is helping me. Fabulous. Let's do some quick shopping and see what we need. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, you don't have to buy the survival knife. We will find this within the next dungeon. If you don't like waiting for things like this, you are welcome to do it, especially if you took the time to level while your sister would repeatedly heal you. Then you have extra money to spare, right? I mean, look at the gold that we have, 686. It's not a big deal to drop the cash for it, but I'm going to opt to not do that since I'm going to get one anyway. Now, what I will get, however, we're good on healing leaves. We have 9 antidotes. I will buy 2, and we earned 4 points there. I'm not worrying about a door of light. We'll get one of these pretty soon also. I will get, oh gosh, I'll get some warrior boots, and we'll just automatically have Vaughn equip those. We got some points, and we're set. So I'm going to save my money. It does suck. I don't have enough for the warrior seal. I guess if you really wanted to, you could go outside and fight a few times to get this. Actually, I might do that. This isn't something, again, that you absolutely have to do, but I want to be cautious because, like I've noted before, this game is one that is not super easy. I mean, it can be easy, obviously, if you over level, but I think it's one that poses more of a challenge than many other RPGs from its time. But I guess I'll leave that for you to decide. Okay, so we kind of got the initiative. So let me go ahead and take this opportunity to not only get gold, but we'll see if we can learn some of our final hyper art abilities. All right, so the last one I did was high, low, right, left. So let's try low, high, left. And again, I'll just end with the Rosaru strike. This should kill this thing. If it lived through that, I would be one surprise chica. So we got a PK combo off. And I think we only have 2 hyper arts for Vaughn left to learn. You'll find things later that will actually share some of these with you. So if you're kind of despairing and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to find a list and I don't obviously know all of them from scratch, really don't worry too much about it. The game will give you the tools to learn all of them and to figure out like what you've missed and what is remaining. All right, a Gobu Gobu. Let's go ahead and spirit again. We'll get another hyper art ability learned. At least he's not stealing because that would actually drive me insane. So next we need, okay, not auto. Let's do high, low, whatever, a third low. Let's see if Vaughn can drop it low. So we got Hurricane. So hopefully if we knock these out in this episode with Vaughn, then I will be able from this point forward to go ahead and remove the repeat fights. Because I'm sure you guys are like, okay, don't want to see 20 fights with Gobu Gobus and green slimes. And I feel ya, because this game has a relatively high encounter rate. It's not the highest by any means. There are plenty of other games where enemies, I feel like, come out of nowhere every 5 fucking seconds. But here it's not as ridiculous. Okay, so we've got one more left, and thinking about it, oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to get the gold very easily. I'll see where we're at after this. I haven't been paying attention to gold. I've more just been focusing on the hyper arts. But I'll see. It might be worth just pausing the camera. Okay, so low and then a bunch of highs. And then seeing from there if I can get the rest of the gold to get that last piece of equipment. And that's also why I feel it's better to ignore the survival knife for now, just because, oh man, money is limited. The game doesn't just throw cash your way. Things cost money. And that is something that was consistent for me throughout all the playthroughs I've done. Like, you will forever be a broke-ass bitch, let me just say, and that is not what I meant to look at. Alright, so now we can come over here and see all of the hyper arts that we've learned. Isn't that crazy, you guys? So we can kind of like start from the bottom and work our way up to the top. Like, we have learned a lot of things. So we've got plenty of the 4 directional attacks and several of the 3Bs. Alright, well, let's look at our cash. 217, and what did it cost? 280? I think I will go ahead and just pause the camera here. Let me fight for a little bit longer, earn some money, and then we will continue together from there. So I will be right back, everybody. Okie dokie, welcome back, you guys. So as far as things that happen off camera, I obviously managed to get the money that we need to buy the item that I wanted. And as you could see in the upper left-hand corner, Vaughn is now level 4. So it was pretty much worth my while to spend a little bit of time doing that. And also, the other noteworthy change is that I did summon Guimard a couple of times just, you know, to make use of my time since we learned all the arts together. And I managed to get him to level 2. So I will show you his spell animation as soon as we enter our next fight together. And then I promise we're done with Rim Elm and we're ready to GTFO. So let's buy our warrior seal. I'm like a little salty that I can't get the cure amulet, but that's way too much fucking money and I am not about to sit here and try to do that. So it'll show you what you've got equipped. Like I said, survival knife in my opinion is not worth buying now because you will be getting one, and we'll be getting a door of light pretty soon as well. So that's it. We are poor again. Get used to it, guys, because it's going to be a consistent issue. Before we leave, we can still come back and chat with Miss Nene, who will let us sleep. I mean, it's not really her letting us sleep. It's our own house, right? So it wouldn't matter even if she said we couldn't sleep. We're going to crash when we want to. All right, good morning. When you have time, tell me about your adventures, okay? I will. All right, guys, so we are done. There is nothing left for us to grab here in Rim Elm, nothing left to see. So let's come up here, and this is how you will save your game. I know some games like switch it up, so in order to save, it's like you have to sleep at an inn. But here, they'll just put these little, I don't know, these little memory light thingies, and you just talk to it, and then you can save, as I demonstrated. So long, Rim Elm. It's adventure time. And no, not the cartoon. Well, let's get our journey started. So we'll just stick to the path. You can run off if you want to, but there's nothing really for us to explore on this side of the map quite yet. Okay, after this fight, I promise I will be removing the dupes just because who wants to see these a million times? But I do want to show you Guimard. At least once, right? I mean, you'll have plenty of time to see him in future battles. But while we're gathering Seru, I'd like to show them off. And it's kind of nice that he's at level 2. I'm hoping we can get him to level 3. That would be incredible and will make my life much easier. But I think the first couple of sections and areas to this game aren't that tough. But oh man, there is one place, you guys, that consistently rocks my world. And you'll know what it is when we get there. And I'm sure many of you had the same experience with this place. Can we make it before we get in a fight? Yes. Whew. Perfect. Oh, Vaughn, I'm glad you came. I'm impressed. You made it here all by yourself. Guys, go fuck yourselves. I'm definitely stronger than all of you. Ha ha ha, you're so confident. You are a lot hardier than us hunters. By the way, Vaughn, see that guy over there? Don't know him? Well, we come here often, but this is the first time we've met someone else here. He says his name's Lesem, and he was telling us the most amazing story. I love how we're just like, okay, hey. Vaughn, you should talk to Lesem too. I will. Can you guys get off my nuts? The real reason to come here is to get this chest, which contains another healing leaf. We have so many. I actually got one from killing one of the Gobu Gobus. Also, clean water flows from the spring. So if we do wish to drink the water, which I do, of course, we can be healed here as well. So you don't have to rely on Nene, obviously, because you're not going to be running all the way back to Rim Elm. So mysterious statue. In strange script on the pedestal, it reads, Art's Secrets. So we can actually do a lot of reading and learning about things here, but I'm not going to do that right now because we are almost up on time. And we can learn about accessories. We'll go through all of these though, because I will save outside and we'll kind of go from there. So let's talk to Lesem though. I am called Lesem. I serve King Drake, ruler of Drake Kingdom. So you are Vaughn. The hunters have told me of you. You've done great deeds. You have my gratitude. So we could be rude and just say thanks, but I must be going. But instead we'll say, tell me why you are grateful. Yes, this is about something that happened before the mist reached here. I was heading to Rim Elm under King Drake's orders to warn them of the mist, but the mist caught up with me and I became a Seru monster. From what I hear, it is your deeds that enabled me to become human again. That is why I am grateful. Thank you so much. Drake is surrounded by the mist and King Drake is surely awaiting you. Your powers. With your powers, our castle could be saved. Will you help us? Absolutely. So Drake Castle is our next destination, regardless of whether you talk to this guy or not. But, oh, thank you. Please do whatever you can to save Drake Castle. Before I departed, the king had made a frightening decision. I hope he is safe. I'm sure he's fine. Well, actually, he's not fine right now, but he will be fine. The Genesis tree has driven all the mist away. Now, if only the waters of the river to the east would subside, we could go even farther to hunt. Yeah, you could. So Lesem was an envoy of King Drake. Speaking of King Drake, he is the one who used to control the water gate upstream. Okay, Vaughn, I have some advice for you. Will you lend me your ear? Certainly. Now, you may have powers that we don't because of that Rasaru and all, but Drake Castle up ahead is just crawling with the most horrible Seru monsters. Listen, these are the hunter's rules. Rule 1, always have the proper equipment. If you think you don't have the right weapons or armor, then head right back to Rim Elm. You can still buy whatever type of equipment you need at the shops there. Hunter's rule number 2. A trip without healing medicine is a trip to the next world. When going to a strange place, always take at least 5 or 6 healing leaves. So just some pro tips for you guys, but you know, for those of us who have played RPGs forever, these are things that we've heard and done many times, so nothing really new here. Vaughn, where are you going now? So we're going to head to Drake Castle. Oh, so you're going there for Lesem, huh? Drake Castle is north of the spring. And last guy, Vaughn, before going outside, drink the water at the drinking fountain by the spring. Your whole body will be re-energized. Well, thank you. We already did this, though. So we will end the episode here, and when we do come back together next time, everyone, we will look at those statues just to learn more about the mechanics. I think that's an important thing to do when you're playing a new game for the very first time. But of course, I'm going to save, just because you all know me if you've journeyed through an RPG with me before. I am a save-aholic because I get paranoid that I will die, and it has happened where I've died and haven't saved my shit, and I raged so hard. Never on camera, I don't think, but I've learned my lesson from my youth and being a little too overconfident in my abilities. So anyway, with all that being said and done, let us part ways here. Thank you so much for joining me this far in our Let's Play of Legend of Legaia. I am beyond ecstatic to be replaying this for those of you. So I hope you are equally thrilled to see me go through this and 100% the game. So again, I will see you in our next episode. We will look at all of the statues, and then we're just going to make a beeline for Drake Castle and see if we can help out the king and his situation there. So thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Rabbit, and I will see you very shortly in our next episode of Legend of Legaia.